Royal Wedding is famously in the public domain because the renewal of the copyrights, there was a window for it and they missed it. There's a whole bunch of these, but the Royal Wedding is one of them. And this is why I believe there's going to be a copy of it on YouTube somewhere, but if not, there's going to be some other platform that has it legitimately. So that's the good news already. Go watch it. I'll wait till you're done. Royal Wedding is a musical, and unabashedly so. It is about a brother and sister dance duo, dance and songs and sketches, stuff on stage, and exhibition dancing, ballroom dancing, much like Fred Astaire and his sister used to do back in the day. Because little Fred Astaire, when he was like 6 years old, used to dance ballroom with his sister. I don't know if it was younger or older. I'll have to look that up. Must have been so cute. And that is about 1903 or something like that. And at some point, and they were actually quite successful as just to look at. And then something went wrong with the family, and all of a sudden they needed some sort of job thing, and brother and sister turned into an actual act that made money for quite a bit. And from about 1905-ish until the talkies sort of happened. Before the talkies, they were, I think there actually was a moment where they were in Hollywood before the talkies, so on film, but no music or no talkie style music. But basically, not until the talkies happened was Fred Astaire really interesting in Hollywood. But before he got there, I have to look up when this happened, but once a young lady stops being a little girl and there are some gentlemen and, sister wanted to get married. And I know Fred Astaire was really, really upset about it because it broke up the partnership. It's done. And the story of this film starts exactly the same way. We have a brother and sister dancing pair that are very successful, and actually both of them sort of keep saying, oh no, getting married, it's not for us, it's freedom and our career, and we're better off together just dancing, and until she meets somebody and then he meets somebody and you get shenanigans, which is fine for a musical film like this. What makes it interesting, I think, are two different things they added to it. Like it's the Fred Astaire angle, because he included his dynamic with his sister, and how that could have gone in another kind of story, and also his experiences with his sister. Because there's one scene in the middle where they're on the boat to England, and they have been asked to do an exhibition ballroom dance, and the seas is a little choppy, so they do the dance and they start sliding on the dance floor, trying to stay on their feet, and there's fruits and stuff rolling on the floor because the place is tilted that much. That is from an experience that Fred Astaire and his sister had many years ago, like in 1919 or something like that, a long time ago, and that's why he put it in, because and that is why it actually looks good, because it looks grounded in reality. I think that's probably the best thing. The other element that makes this movie interesting is that they go from a very normal, what was it, Broadway or some sort of stage life in the States, to a chance to go play a variety show in England, because there is going to be a big event there. Princess Elizabeth is going to marry her Philip Mountbatten. Yes, it's 1947, and the film is filmed a little bit later than that, but they reference back to this event as being a big event. And now that you look at it, we all know that the big event of that era is her coronation. But that is like a couple of years in the future. They had no idea. Nobody had any idea of that. So the big event is the royal wedding. Hence, royal wedding. It is called wedding bells in the British versions because they didn't want to. I suppose they didn't want to imply the wrong thing. You don't get to see anything of the wedding itself. Any footage that has to do with the wedding is from newsreels and some extra stuff they recorded it in the States. I did not go on location at all. So, but it's fine. It works. The thing that they did to make it believable is getting Peter Lawford as her new beau and Sarah Churchill as his new lady. And they are 100% British. Peter Lawford is, I've seen him lots. He's one of those known British guys. He's around a lot. And Sarah Churchill is the daughter of Winston Churchill. Turns out to be an actress. I didn't even know that. Well, there you go. She's good. She is there to be in the show in England, because when the pair goes to England to be in a show, there's going to be a show. They're actually going to be in charge of the show. This is their show. It's not stated very clearly, but that's what's happening. Basically, they are in charge of when, what happens, and why. So Fred Astaire character is called Tom. So when Tom meets this a young lady in the street, and it turns out that they have a little bit of a 1-2, and then he turns out that she is working at the theater, or she wants to be in the show at the theater. He takes her on immediately. She dances nicely enough. It's good enough anyway, and he kind of likes her. And he likes even better that she seems to be attached to a third person who is not here. Also better, because he's not intending to marry anyone. Similar, his sister, whose name is Ellen, who's played by Jane Powell. She's also not looking for a Mr. Right. She's looking for a Mr. Right now. And Peter Lawford, and I think is Lord John Brindale, is perfectly happy to be Mr. Right now, until she gets feelings and he catches feelings, and then also Tom catches feelings, and his lady, whose name is Anne, also everybody catches feelings. One of the things I really like about this movie is that everybody's likable. Everybody's so nice. And even the problems that are no real problems. The problem basically is that both Tom and Ellen have to decide, okay, if I'm going to go for another person, is that what I want? And that's the entire conflict. Is that what I want? And what happens then? But it'll work out in the end. It's a Stanley Donen movie, and he always makes a very solid piece of cinematography. The interesting thing, maybe on the behind the scenes, is of course Fred Astaire was always chosen for this part because it's basically written about his own life and with his permission, of course. But the lady that he was supposed to be in there was actually supposed to be June Allyson. Then June Allyson, yes, she would have been lovely because it's very, very much the girl next door kind of vibe, and the songs are not that, because she's also the singer here, are not that difficult. But June Allyson could definitely do that. But June Allyson was pregnant. Yeah, so they got in. They asked to get in, and they're working on it. Judy Garland would also have been wonderful, but this is just after a film called Summer Stock, and she was at the end of what she could do with it. Yeah, it's a sad story. Don't look it up. It doesn't. Anyway, she misses too many rehearsals because they do shoot a couple of scenes, but she misses too many rehearsals, and the producer pulls the plug on that, and so they get in this Jane Powell, and I actually like her a lot. She's not June Allyson at all, but she has that girl next door, but slightly more sophisticated than June Allyson. June Allyson is really girl next door, and she's more sophisticated. She's also, I think, technically a better singer than June Allyson. She has that operatic style, which unfortunately I think it is out of fashion. It's going out of fashion in '51 and onwards, and I think that's why she sort of disappeared. Did look her up. She lasted a long time, but she did leave Hollywood at some point, and I think it's because she's just the the operatic style of singing is just goes out of fashion. And you don't have to do this for your entire life. But I like her a lot. She's quite tiny, but then Fred Astaire is not that tall. They make fun of it by giving her very first beau, the one that stays in America, is enormous. He's like 6'2", and Fred Astaire is probably the usual 5'6", 5'7", and she's 5'2", maybe. But I think she keeps up with Fred Astaire really nicely. I do know that Fred Astaire was very exacting in his dance routines and his practice routines, but she keeps up. But he does have to dance numbers all by himself in this movie, and I think that's the reason why. So he can go absolutely ham on the technical points of that. The ones they do together are exhibition ones. Like this is a musical, so there are a couple of songs where you go, okay, this is a musical moment where somebody is just singing at somebody else just because it's a beautiful moon out and I'm so in love, and that's a musical. But most of the songs are productions or exhibitions. Famous are is the number of him of Fred Astaire dancing with a coat rack, and I do love that. And the other one, of course, is him dancing on the ceiling, which is absolutely phenomenal. They filmed that one, if you want to know, by putting the entire room in a drum, and then him moving around the place slowly, and they had the camera guy in the same turning as the drum on on an ironing board, and the guy just went upside down with it. Phenomenal. They milk it for all it's got. They make him go. I think he goes around 3 times, and yay. He famously said that he had thought of the concept in 1920 already, so that was his idea, and he always wanted to do it, but he never got a chance to do it before, and now there was room to do it. And I think that maybe the loss of June Allyson and Judy Garland maybe created the room to do that, because Jane Powell has other talents. They gave her more songs, because she was that sort of singer that sings up high. It's also something that he can't really sing with her. They're in the wrong range, so they have no duets. But she has she has one moment where she has a song where she doesn't need to have a song. They have exhibition dance, and she starts with a song for no reason whatsoever, and I think that is just for her. Whereas the turning room, the dancing on the ceiling, and the dancing with coat rack is all for him. I think it works. I mean, you're here for songs and dances. It is a musical, but there is some story to it. Them trying to figure out, what do we want in life, each of them individually. What do I want for my brother/sister, because they do want the best for each other. And then also a little bit more about Anne's life, because Tom does come with Anne to meet her father, who's a publican, is a barkeeper, and very very British, so they can do a very British scene. This is absolutely fun, and very sweetly, because she's occupied, she goes visits with the dad without her one time. So he's getting in her life already. And then Ellen goes with Lord John to his ancestral home to pick up the gifts for the wedding. His family is gifting some stuff to the royal couple. Okay, so they have to go and pick it up. Now you get to see some of that. So they go into the lives of the possible spouses, the possible love interests, a little bit, enough to taste. And because it's a musical, you spend a lot of time doing musical stuff, so you have less story. This is very often the case. I don't think that's a problem. The only thing I do think is a shame, but I understand why, because then you have to pay for the footage. So there's a moment where there's the big parade outside, and you hear the bagpipes coming on, and inside they're talking. It's Ellen and Lord John are just about ready to actually go, I really do like you. I really do like you. And music smells up outside, and you would want to go to the window and see the parade of all the bagpipe players. They didn't pay for the footage, so we didn't get to see it. I think they did it craftily, but I think we did not see enough of the wedding itself. And I'm going to be very royalist about it in that way. I'm sorry. We did get to see the royal carriage, which is a absolutely thing in the Netherlands. We know all about the royal carriage, and they did the royal carriage, so that's something. But that's all we got. Royal carriage. I don't know if how much recording there is of the actual wedding, because the Coronation is famous because they wanted it to be televised, and therefore there are many recordings of it as well, film recordings, and because they wanted it to go on to the newsreel, but they also wanted to go live on television, so we have both. But it's maybe because of this wedding that people afterwards complained we didn't see anything, even though this technology already exists, and why do we only get to see a carriage outside and that's it? And that's maybe why we got a beautiful coronation, televising of the coronation. Don't know. But this was not enough, and whether or not it was because they wouldn't fork out the money to actually pay for the extra footage, I don't know. They did fake a London street, because they have a one moment where they have it's pretty funny, because there is an American agent that takes care of Tom and Ellen, and he has a twin brother who is in London. So when they arrive in London, you meet a twin brother. He's played by the same guy, by Keenan Wynn. He's a lot of fun, because they actually film a scene where one brother is phoning the other brother, and one speaks American old pal talk, and the other one's going, oh, Paul, pip pip, and all that. And they really almost can't understand each other. They're supposed to be twins, but it's very funny. And I do like that they did ham up the idea of this is Britain and that is America, and we're very American in America, and very British in Britain. A thing they did which was very smart, was because our main characters are taking their Broadway show into an English audience, they didn't Britishify anything. They made it more American. They actually do a little skit which obviously was meant to be a dig at Gene Kelly, because they do a Gene Kelly kind of skit with a rough Yank Bronx boy and a sassy girl, and obviously was written for Judy Garland, the sassy girl, or maybe June Allison. I think either one could have done well, but now this she's a little bit not. She can actually sass it up if she needs to, but they do have a dark wig on her because Jane Powell is very, very blonde. It's the only time she has a wig on, but it's a stage thing. So I like that. So they do that number, and the other number they do is completely unrelated to either country. I Left My Hat in Haiti is Copacabana kind of Caribbean song, so completely unaffiliated with either the States or Britain. It's there to entertain, which is, I think, what is they are there for, is just to make glitzy entertainment. And that's what this entire film is about. It's just entertain you for an hour and a half and make you go home happy. I don't know if you want more. What more can you possibly want out of life? I don't know. Don't watch it if you don't like musicals. Don't watch it if you don't like Fred Astaire. And the music it's okay. It's by a chap called Lane with the lyrics by Lerner. And Lerner is the one who is like in a lot of different musicals. You've seen his name before, and then the lyrics is always good, and it's here. So, and that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.